Welcome to Hoops Zooted, the show that combines your two favorite things, weed and basketball. Pack 'em all and grab a seat as Evan rambles on about this team he's loved for the past 40 plus years.
My mom only cares when I'm on TV. My dad only cares that I make money. I just smoke trees every day and night. I don't give a fuck if I'm doing it right. Welcome to episode 26 of Hoops Zooted. I'm your host, Evan Moore, and the title of this episode is Just When You Thought It Was Safe to Get Your Hopes Up. Yep. Had a good win streak going. I thought I was going to have the first podcast of the season where I get to recap only wins, but no. The win streak is over as of tonight. So tonight I'm smoking a little bit of Amnesia K Lemon in hopes that I can kind of forget, I guess. And I'm just smoking out of my little pipe, tiny little pipe, because I feel like, the win streak is broken. No, I was gonna, if we had 6 games, that would have been a record for Darvin Ham, and I was gonna break out the wizard pipe and be like, hey, maybe we got something here. But no, relegated back to just the standard little glass bowl, just standard little pipe. This is good old faithful, So anyway, before I do a little recap, let me take a few hits because, that was disappointing. Hoping that I could have at least one fucking week, 4 games. Yeah, and they were winnable games, and they even got the toughest game in double overtime. But anyway, I'll get to all that in a minute. Let me prepare myself though first. There we go. Settle down. Anyway, so to recap the week, like I said, we had 4 games, and first one was on Sunday, and we got ourselves a win over the Pacers, 150 to 105. High scoring, but good win overall. And that at that point that had made it 3 in a row at that point. And then the next game was the Bucks. The Bucks in their stadium. Or yeah, and went to double overtime, and we got the win, 128 to 124, in a game that we absolutely stole because they were winning that game for 46 minutes, and in the last 2 minutes, we came back and tied it up, and then ended up taking the lead, and double overtime, we got the win in their arena. Like that was probably one of the best wins of the season. You know that and the win in Boston without Braun and AD, to me, like, have been two of the highlights of the season. Like, big, exciting, fun wins, and yeah, that was great. So that was the highlight of the week, and then we had a nice, pretty easy win over the Grizzlies on Wednesday night. Right after that, the game after, back to back, right after that, and it was 136 to 124. Closer score than really the game. The whole game really was. We kind of let them into it late. Kind of let our foot off the gas late, but still held on for the win there. But like, yeah, that was pretty close to I think that was a wire to wire win. But if not, like, it was pretty close. If not, and then tonight, hoping that Darvin Ham could break his record of five games in a row. Hoping this team in Darvin Ham's tenure could break the record of 5 games in a row and get 6. And we were playing the Pacers. Now, granted, in their arena, but 90 to 109. And first half, it was pretty close. We felt like, in the first quarter, we were pretty much kind of controlling the game, even though it was fairly close. I felt like we had a small lead, but then they closed in on us. Late in the first quarter, ended up by 2 after the first quarter, but it was still back and forth, and anybody's game there at halftime, even though they had a small lead. So, but then second half, like, momentum was all theirs, and it just slowly unraveled as the game went on. Nice 19-point win for them, and the end of our streak. So, it is what it is. Just tough to lose that, streak. And part of it, was that they were clearly tired from those back-to-backs. That double overtime against the Bucks. I'm sure that put a toll on their legs. And, it showed in their shooting tonight. I believe 5 of 31 from 3. And, another bad turnover night with 16 turnovers too. Those are probably the biggest reasons they blew it tonight. But it is what it is. It's tough to get every game. It just would have been so nice for so many reasons. Be able to recap a full week of wins would have been so damn nice. But no, didn't want to give that to me. Should have done the show last night, I guess. I fucked up. Anyway, so that kind of leads me into my first topic, which is of course they couldn't give me just one fucking week, could they? I had been hoping since Wednesday, that I could have this podcast recapping all these wins, because I've been thinking about the whole year, and like, yeah, every week it's, dotted, it's a mix of wins and losses, and, and I get it. There's, parity's really good in this year. I just had such high expectations for this team, and injuries have been an issue. Yes. But still, frustrating nonetheless. And, the fact that in Darvin Ham's entire tenure, 5 games is his peak. it's frustrating, and really since the 2021 season, I think that was the last time we had a decent winning streak. I think we had a 7-game winning streak back then. So it's been a long time, and I've always felt that the really good, the championship contenders, are usually teams that get streaks, above 10 games, during the season. That's kind of a telltale sign that that team's going to be tough to beat in a 7-game series. If they can win that many different style fights on that many different nights, it means they're tough and they're versatile. So yeah, and but around the league, I believe that like this year there haven't been too many great big winning streaks either. So parity is really good. Like I believe Boston has the biggest one at I think it's 13 games, I believe. And then I think the next closest was like Houston and us, or yeah, if we had gotten tonight. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. Houston had 6, I believe, and had we gotten tonight, I think they had mentioned on the broadcast that had we gotten tonight, that we would have been tied and we would have been second. So there haven't been a whole lot of teams having big win streaks. So, I mean, from that standpoint, it is encouraging. And, in Boston, Boston just lost to the Hawks again last night. It was a close one. DeJounte Murray had to, have the buzzer beater to win it. But, Boston's as good as they are. Like they do have some holes that, like, in a 7-game series, it's good. But, you know, they've also shown, like, all season long, they've got the best regular season record of anybody, so they're going to have home court advantage across the board. Um, and that 13-game winning streak, they are the team to beat, you know. Um, Denver's going to match up with them well, though. Minnesota's going to possibly match up with them well if they get there. Um, and I think that they're going to have trouble also getting through Cleveland, even, because they've had some difficulties with Cleveland all year, just because of their length and, their defense. So, I mean, we'll see. Cleveland's been having some issues too. So, maybe getting ahead of myself on that too. But Boston, as good as they are, I don't feel like they're as, their record. Not to say that they're not a really good team, that they're that much better than everybody else, but it's a smaller margin than I think a lot of people have. There are a lot of people think, because really when I look around the league, the parity's so good right now, and it's all about, different styles make fights, and it's part of the reason why we have such a hard time matching up with Sacramento, and why the Pacers gave us such a hard time tonight. Those young athletic teams that can really run with us really get us tired, and especially if we've come off a back to back playing a double overtime. So that's the fun thing about the NBA right now. Like, and so who we match up in the playoffs is going to matter. If we get, people have been talking about us getting Denver in the first round, and I've jokingly talked about, like, hey, that's, hey, get it over with quick. If that's the case, like, sure, why not, bring it on? Because if we can beat Denver, then, like, I feel confidence that, hey, we can actually probably make a deep run. But if we can't beat Denver, hey, season's over. I've been talking about how the season's been cooked for a while anyway, and that we can't get over the hill here with Denver. And and that would just prove it. So, but we'll wait and see. It's also still like who's going to be at the top there. At that one seed, that top three seeds. Oklahoma City, Denver, and Minnesota are so close. I believe they're all separated by like a half game at this point. So they're going to keep like kind of flip flopping on who gets that top seed, and it's going to be interesting to see who gets it in the end here. Because everybody's down to less than 10 games. I'm pretty sure. So, um, yeah, it's crunch time, and that's who gets that top seed is going to be interesting because it really looks like we're going to be the ninth seed, hopefully trying to get in as the eighth seed, or maybe we can move up to the eighth seed, because we did get some help tonight. Phoenix lost, and if Sacramento loses, also that puts us only one game behind Sacramento, but we're 2 games behind Phoenix. So, but if Sacramento wins tonight, we're 2 games behind both to try and get into eighth. So, yeah, it's tough. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be close. But who's going to be at that top? Whether it's Minnesota, Denver, or Oklahoma City. Because I feel like if it's Oklahoma City and we're that eighth seed, boom, bring it on. That's kind of ideal for us. That's a great way for us to advance and move on, and hopefully, and hope that maybe somebody else beats Denver, so we don't have to face them. Let's be honest here. We got to be real. Like if we want to get there, we got to get some help and maybe dodge Denver. You know, that's that's probably our best hope. Like it'd be nice to be able to get the rematch, go head to head, beat them, but we're 0-3 against them so far this year. So like, I don't know about the rest of you. I'm not terribly hopeful. So it's going to be tough to climb out of that 9 spot, and hopefully but and of course what that 9 spot means is we're going to have to play 2 games at minimum just to get in. So because we got to beat the 10, and then we'll have to beat whoever wins between the 7 and the 8. So yeah, it's tough. Let's hope that maybe we can get that 8 seed. Maybe Sacramento is the one that falls now. They just lost Herter today, and I was just watching the game earlier, and Monk just hurt his knee. Hopefully nothing serious, but losing those 2 guys, if they lose both of those guys to injury, they're most likely going to plummet. And it sucks. I hate seeing guys get injured, but sometimes it's to our advantage. So there is still hope to try and get the 8 seed. Because that would be helpful to only have to play 1 game, and if we only have to play 1 game, then we've still got a shot at that 7 seed. So, and who we match up with is going to be important. But it's we got to. There's no way. People talk about like trying to maneuver that, but like looking at how close everything is, trying to maneuver that is going to be almost impossible right now. It's like the top is so close, and then everybody else, 4 to 10 is also so damn close. So it's going to be wild here for these last few games here. It's going to be fun. And I'm actually, as kind of like frustrated as I was from tonight, I started thinking about this as I'm, getting prepared tonight, and I'm really excited for these last 8 games for us, and just for, the rest of the league, because everybody's going to be fighting for position. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks here, because we end, I believe, just right the day before tax day of 14th, I believe. So yeah, it's going to be fun. So anyway, excuse me a sec. Let me take another quick hit. Real. There we go. And, we've, in this nice little run, we've had, a few really nice bright spots. Like Rui and Reeves have both had some really nice games recently. And, we've also got some guys almost coming back from injury. So we've got some things to look forward to. Rui had an incredible game in Memphis, 32-10, and another solid game with the Bucks, 16-14. So, I mean, yeah, he seems to own Memphis, and yeah, he's getting hot right at the right time, and it feels like now that Darvin is finally utilizing him more and not you know keeping him on the bench so much, it's made a big difference. He's more comfortable. He's been playing so much more aggressively. Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, because I don't know about the rest of you guys, but yeah, we love Rui, man. Rui's awesome. Like, fun player to watch, and just seems like such a great guy. And yeah, we love Rui. And then Austin, my guy, the White Cobra. He almost had a 30-point triple double against the Bucks. One fucking point away. One fucking point away from the 30-point triple double. Oh man. Brutal. So close. But 29, 14, and 10 against the Bucks. I mean, say what you want about Reeves and his defense. And, even though it's gotten a lot better recently, a lot better. You guys do need to give him some credit about all you shit talkers out there, but I'm sure you won't. But he has gotten. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Anyway, here, let me take another drink. Yep. Again, yeah, talking about Reeves and the triple double, and yeah, say what you want about him, but this guy is clutch. He gets better and better with every game. He's never gonna be, like doing this every night. This triple double stuff, especially almost a 30-point triple double. But the fact that he can pull this out every once in a while, from a guy who's basically the fourth option on the team, maybe even arguably the fifth, when Rui's really cooking. I mean, that's a damn nice luxury to have, people. We complain and complain so much about a lot of this, but realistically, the only guys that are going to be consistent every night, and they're even going to have a few bad games here and that. Like LeBron had a kind of subpar game tonight. I think he only had 16 points tonight. That subpar for him. But LeBron and AD are the two guys that are going to be consistently giving you those numbers. All these other role players, it's going to be streaky. They're going to give you, 2-3 good games and then a stinker sometimes. Maybe 4 or 5 good games and then a stinker. Or sometimes with a lot of these guys, it's, good game, stinker, or stinker, good game, But that is the reality of role players, and, having guys like Rui and Reeves that, like I said, basically are fourth and fifth options on this team, being able to put up numbers like that, that's a damn nice luxury to have. And we may not be where we want to be this season, and we may not be able to get the chip this season, but we have a really nice foundation to build on for next season. And yeah, we'll see. Of course, everybody's talking about now trading Reeves, you know, in the summer, but hopefully not. But hopefully we can find a way to bring in another star and not trade Reeves. But one of those guys will probably have to go, Reeves or Rui, and D'Lo may walk as well. So it's going to be interesting. But if we win it all, maybe we can keep this team together. Because I do like the potential with this core, and especially when Vando comes back. Because we have gotten some news that there is potential that he could come back, early April. So hopefully right before, playoffs start, and that's perfect. So he can have a couple of games, a couple of regular season games to get ready for the playoffs and ramp up. And then if he's there for us in round one to go, like boom, bring it on, man. Like I like our chances if Vando is healthy. And Gabe Vincent should be back on Sunday against the Nets. So that should be also a nice addition. But, of course, there's always the big but. How is this going to affect Spencer's minutes and rotation? Is Max going to just completely get, thrown to the bench and lose minutes completely now that Gabe is back? But because Ham did seem to favor Gabe a lot when Gabe was healthy. So early in the season. So that is definitely a concern. And I'm not gonna pretend like it's not. But it's gonna be nice to have those guys back and get this team at full strength and figure out who's going to be the 8 to 9 man rotation that we're going to do come playoffs. But it does look like we are getting healthy at the right time. We are playing well at the right time. Despite tonight's little setback. 8 games to go. It's crunch time, and just get ready, Laker Nation. Like it's going to end one way or another, but soon, but very soon. Well, hopefully not too soon. Hopefully we can make a nice deep run here. We can get, well into May. And June is where we want to be, though. June is always the goal. Let's not forget that. So, anyway, let me play a little bit of music and take another couple hits, and I'll come back here with my next topic here. That's better. So, next thing I want to talk about was I had kind of a interesting week on Twitter. It all started when I saw a tweet about Nate Robinson and Michael Beasley arguing about bronze versus Jordans. And Nate claimed, I still haven't seen, quote unquote, I still haven't seen one human wear LeBrons with jeans or any regular outfit. And at the time that I saw that tweet, I looked down and I was wearing LeBrons at that point. Um, and yeah, here, yeah, these LeBrons, you know, I thought, I feel like they're very stylish shoes. And so I snapped a pic and, just like saying, hey, Nate, like I'm wearing LeBrons with jeans. There might be a few holes in your argument. And it blew up. And the tweet, like, yeah, at least for me, it like, got, yeah, like it really, got a lot of responses. And, a few of the responses were, not so surprising, about how, it doesn't count for me, the old white guy, but that's that that's fine, like, but I want to remind everybody Nate claimed, quote unquote, I still haven't seen one human, he wasn't specifying a community. He was saying just one human, because he was also trying to claim that Jordan's, an entire generation tried to wear them. And like, that's, true of, basketball heads and, hip hop community as well. And, you know, fair amount of people that did, yeah, Jordans were a huge thing, but it wasn't everybody. There are plenty of people who didn't. Let's also be real on that, But, this whole debate about the shoes, um, I also have to say that, these LeBrons are like the first signature shoes that I've ever owned, because those damn things are expensive, man. And, I bought these last year, um, you know, because I wanted some, good shoes to hoop in. I've always bought generic basketball shoes or even, hooped in, whatever running shoes I've got at the time, usually Nikes, that's usually my favorite, most comfortable for me. But, you know, anyway, like I'd never owned a pair of Signature shoes because they're so expensive. So, but so I kind of bought these on a whim, but like I love these shoes. Like they're damn nice. Like, and like I've always been jealous of a lot of you guys that are sneakerheads because like I was spending money on other things, but yeah, I've always liked sneakers, and sneakers are pretty goddamn cool, and those are pretty cool. I thought they looked pretty damn stylish with my jeans too. Here, like let me put that back up here, like and with my jeans. That's it's a pretty nice color there. They go together well. Like not too bad. So I'm no fashion icon, but and I'm a jeans and t-shirt guy pretty much. Like but it's my sister in the family she's the one that's the fashion one. But I feel like that looks pretty good, man. Like the colors go well together. Like, hey, man, for me that's pretty damn stylish, man. So, but anyway, it was funny. I didn't expect just the shoes, a tweet about my shoes to get, that big of a response. And, it was also just funny, like, being told that, that, that it doesn't count for me, Oh, it's fine. I get it. And like, I don't take huge offense to that at all. Like, it's just, it's funny. But, that was fun this week, you know. And then, that brings me down now to final topic of the night. And final topic of the night is we've got 8 games remaining. Thinking about you, Kobe. 8 games left. But they're all winnable, but they're not easy games. We've got 3 road games left on this road trip that we're on currently. The Nets, Raptors, and Wizards. All winnable. But the Raptors and Wizards will be back to back. So that's going to be tough. But, there's a good chance that we can go 3-0 right there. But then we get Cleveland on a Saturday day game. And the Lakers usually look really lethargic in day games. Yeah, so I'm like almost like kind of like it's almost like a scheduled loss. I feel like we almost kind of like need to chalk that one up possibly. But then after that, 2 home games against the T-Wolves and the Warriors, and those are probably the toughest of our remaining games. And I think we match up well against the T-Wolves, and that's at home. So I think we've got that one. But the Warriors have been giving us trouble recently, and they're fighting for their lives as well. So that one may be a tough one. We may end up blowing that one. So we'll see. And then to end the season, it's 2 road games: the Grizzlies and the Pelicans. We've shown we can dominate the Grizzlies, so I'm not worried about that one at all. But then the Pelicans, I think the Pelicans are going to give us a tough time here on that last game of the season. And, yeah, it's going to be rough. Probably, if, fighting for everybody, probably going to have to, play everybody, LeBron and AD, as opposed to, if we had position, we could maybe coast on that last game. But, we'll see. Maybe things are locked in and maybe we get lucky and can coast on that last game. So, but, in these last 8 games, maybe looking at 6-2, maybe 5-3 is what I'm thinking. So, and I believe that puts us at 46 wins, 47 wins. Yeah, 47 wins if we get the 6, 46 if we get the 5. So, I think that's the best we can hope for here with these final 8 games. Now, if we can somehow go 8-0, that'd be amazing. That'd be wonderful if we can go 8-0 and get into the playoffs. And that might actually, get us lucky enough to get 6th place. But I think that's that's going to be a hard ask, So, yeah, we've got these, 8 games to go. And so I guess that means just one thing.
It's time for historical Gas or
Yes, it is time. It is time for another edition of Historical Stoner Circle. And tonight, I'd like to do a completely basketball theme things because for two reasons. One, I read a great book recently, Rex Chapman's book. Shout out to him. Amazing book. Very, very personal, very raw. But I appreciated it so much. I had similar struggles with addiction when it came to pills, pills and alcohol. And Rex's book was kind of like cathartic in a lot of ways. It just, my experience was very different than his, but it was just kind of like, just like, hey man, like there's somebody else kind of, that muddled through it and is kind of, on the other side of it, and, is also, smoking weed, and like, weed is also like kind of what helped save me from that, like, from that addiction, that, made getting away from it, a lot easier. And, and it's, I joke, it's the last thing I'm addicted to. And, hopefully someday, I'm no longer addicted, but, it is at this point, it's very helpful. It's very helpful. And so, yeah, it was just that book. And then LeBron's new podcast with JJ Redick has been freaking amazing. Breath of fresh air. Just, thank you both. Just getting two basketball minds to sit down and, talk about plays and break down plays like that. For somebody like myself, I never played this game at a very high level. I've talked about that before. I played in middle school. I played a little bit in high school, and I was mostly rebellious in high school. And, but I played a lot of street ball, so like I didn't play it at a very high level, but I'm very dedicated to this game, and I love this game. And, I don't have that, background of, knowing a lot of the plays by name and stuff like that, and the analytics and a lot of the thinking behind it like that. So I love that kind of content and hearing that kind of stuff, because I'm, as a, more of a, pickup player, I'm more about like, like feel like, I know basic stuff, like pick and rolls and, hedging and, and just simple stuff like that. But like, getting their breakdowns, to me, it's just, I just soak it all up. I love every freaking second of it. So yeah, I love that. And so in honor of that, in honor of those two guys, I want to keep it all basketball. So I want Rex, I want LeBron, and then my favorite player growing up, James Worthy, so that we could all sit down and talk about basketball and life and about all kinds of shit. And like that would be, yeah, that would be my historical stoner circle for this week, because that's what I want. And again, thank you, LeBron. Thank you, Rex. And thank you, James, man. You were an awesome inspiration. And, yeah, I wanted to be you as a kid, like, I didn't, obviously, I'm only 5'11", I can barely palm the basketball, like it wasn't in the cards, but, like I still love this game. Plus I was a snot in high school, because like I said, I played just a very little bit in high school. I played in the summer league of, after my freshman year, Um, because I was also a swimmer, and like they didn't let me play any sports my freshman year because I was, also transferred from another district, and so they wouldn't let me. I had to redshirt that first year anyway. So like, I played in summer league of, after, my freshman year in high school, and then they fired the coach that I would have played for, like immediately, you know, after that summer league. And I really liked that coach. And like, so like, I stubbornly, I was just like, fuck this. I don't want to play for the new coach. And, as well as, like beer and, um, a lot of other drugs were, becoming more attractive than a lot of this other stuff. So that's, that's my story. And, but like I said, even though I wasn't playing organized, I still was, I was playing every morning, at least a couple times at lunch, a lot of times, and even working on my game by myself a lot of times in the evening. So, I love this game. I'm not, you know, the most like, like deep technically about this game when it comes to talking about it, but I've played enough of it that I think I have a good enough understanding, and I think I've conveyed that to you. And I've always tried to be real about it. That you know I'm not the big analytics guy. I'm not you know any of these you know kind of typical basketball guys. I'm mostly an entertainer. I like to get high and talk about basketball. Let's be real. Because I love this game. I put a lot into this game, and you know, I feel like this game has given me a lot, and like this is kind of my way of giving back, I guess. As silly as that may sound to some of you. So anyway, I guess that's it for me this week. Got a couple weeks left, man, and then we got the playoffs. Let's keep our fingers crossed, and let's hope for the best. I don't have high expectations, but we still got LeBron, we still got AD, and remember what happened last year. Seed or not, maybe we can make another run. But anyway, hope you all stay good. Peace out and stay zooted.
In the history of mankind, men have been called out and written up millions of times over, but only one man was written up for, and I quote, making barnyard noises and wouldn't stop. Rest in power, my friend. Washiko.